It's a very interesting one. I've always loved fashion. I remember growing up, I've always been drawn to like that way of just creatively expressing myself. Interesting enough, I went on to study accounting. I became a qualified accountant, but fashion has always been there. Like it's always been that thing. I remember in 2014, I woke up and I just asked my mom to show me how to use the sewing machine. I'm sure she was like, she didn't understand what it was for because I think at the back of my head, I knew that it was gonna create something or like, yeah. So I remember waking up, she showed me how to use the sewing machine and it felt so natural. It felt like I was doing something that I've been doing before or it just felt like home. Yeah, and from there on, I started creating sample pieces. I started exploring, and thankfully, she never really questioned why I was now busy with her old sewing machine. It wasn't even like a fancy machine. It was like those like manually operated old Singer sewing machines. So from there on, I just started exploring fashion, and before I knew it, fashion was sort of like my life. Like I gravitated towards internships in the fashion space. I remember when I interned for AFI, Cape Town Fashion Week. Even that, when I heard about it, this accounting student about to graduate in accounting, but the first internship that I do is in the fashion space. So even those sort of like were the signs that fashion was going to be my thing. And yeah, I built the brand and I called it Imprint because of what fashion sort of like did to me. I made a choice in life, or so I think, which was accounting, but fashion sort of like imprinted itself in me, and hence the name Imprint and the pieces that I get to produce. When you wear an imprint garment, you are sure to be remembered, and that's a further imprinting of the work. I think what draws people to the brand Imprint is how unique it is. It's always, like I said, it's always been inspired by me just wanting to create something that didn't exist. This authentic, original, creative expression. I think that's why people gravitate towards. People see it as something that they haven't really seen in the market. I get a lot of comments from clients where they like, you work with prints, but the way that you do prints, it's not too familiar. It doesn't look like something that I've seen before, even though it's like it's prints and everyone is doing prints at this moment, but it's just different. And I think people are also drawn by how it makes them feel. I think, again, because the brand comes from a very special space for me, it translates into the final garments themselves. And when people get to put on an imprint, there's an element of comfort. It gives them confidence. Like I remember when I started, the manifesto was, it inspires individuality and confidence in the person who gets to wear it. So I think that carries true. And a typical imprint consumer is someone who just wants to look different. It's someone who's not afraid to be seen, because if you're going to wear imprint, you cannot be blending in the background. You're going to be seen, you're going to be remembered. So it's someone who just is comfortable enough and confident enough to arrive and wants to imprint, leave a mark. So the collection that I'm showcasing at Fame, it's a combination of two collections. So we have the one that we did recently, which is called Silapha Nje Kungemithandazo, basically looking back at the power of prayer and pushing us to the spaces that we get to be in. And for me, when I talk about prayer, it doesn't necessarily relate to like any specific religious context, but the positive energies that we get from people who wish us well. And also just looking back at how my career has been built from the support that I've been getting from my friends and my mother, who's been such an important element in what I do. Thinking about how she, in all the decisions that I've made, leaving accounting, exploring something different, how she's always just wished me well. I think the collection is sort of like a testament of how much we can achieve when we all have that positive energy behind us. The other collection is iconic pieces that we've done, sort of like connect new consumers to who we used to be, what we've done before, to where we are now. So I think our future plans for the brand, I really wanna cement the brand as a go-to for Africa. I know a lot of us always see growth as tapping into the European market, and that is good. We all want that. But for me, I think the vision has always been making sure that if you go to Nigeria, they know what Imprint is. If you go to Ghana, they know what the brand, and what, not just knowing it from a visual perspective, but know what it stands for, what people like get when they get to be a part of the brand. So I think it's just looking at opportunities that within Africa. We have a show coming up. We actually have 2 shows coming up in Zambia, which is amazing. We want to explore Lagos again, and Senegal was amazing. So we also want to, I think the step for now is to just going back also to the places that we've explored before and seeing where it can go. But yeah, I'm pushing more of that and pushing Imprint home. I think that's exciting. I've been doing fashion and I love it. I'm enjoying it, but having this new Imprint Ikaya coming on board, I think that's also an exciting thing that I want to push. So yeah, there's a lot, but in addition to this, there's a lot of stuff that we are doing in between. Hi, my name is Mzukisi Mbane, founder and the creative director of a fashion and lifestyle brand, Imprint South Africa.